Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. Lawmakers in Thailand plan to reform cryptocurrency laws after voicing concerns that they have made the country uncompetitive, as local English language news outlet the Bangkok Post reported on the 25th of November. Thailand's regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, wants to reconsider its crypto policies in 2020. The reason, it says, lies in poor uptake of its certification and licensing scheme by cryptocurrency businesses since it just came into power last year. Only 5 companies, have completed certification, and of those, just 2 have launched. Now amendments are on the table, but the SEC has not given precise details of how current practices would change. They said the regulator must be flexible to apply the rules and regulations in line with the market environment. This was said by the Secretary General of the SEC. Continued by saying, for example, laws should not be outdated and should serve market needs, especially for new digital asset products. And to be competitive with the global market, we need to explore any possible obstacles. Very good on them, if you will. We mentioned before, countless other times, if your country does not have rules or regulations that are going to be favorable to cryptocurrencies, they'll simply go somewhere else. It's the exact same thing how we just heard a couple of days ago at this point. It hasn't even been a week, I think, that the people in New York State had announced that they were going to try and also think about changing the bit license, because I think since it started about 6 or 7 years ago, what is it? I think 21 companies have applied for it, and I think only like 12 or 13 have gotten it. That's around less than 2 companies per year. And that's why we saw that other US state who was also like, nope, we have a better thing, and therefore everyone could just come over here. So I want to say good on them. It's about time, it's about that time for people to start realizing that their laws aren't very favorable. When you only have 5 people, imagine over the course of a year, you only meet 5 people and only 2 of them want to hang out with you. That's kind of what it's like. And even then, I'm pretty sure those other 2 are like, well, I guess if we have to, because they were probably already based in that country. Anyway, here's the actual news article right here. It says SEC to amend decree on digital asset businesses. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Or rather, let's go to the next one. You know what I'm trying to say. It says Ripple is revealing new details on the expansion of its XRP-based cross-border remittance platform known as On-Demand Liquidity. The company's head of global operations, Eric van Miltenburg, confirmed that ODL is coming to 2 additional countries. In an interview after Ripple's recent Swell conference in Singapore, he confirmed recent reports from the conference that ODL is coming to Australia and revealed Thailand was also going to be launched in 2020. He said, we launched Mexico last year. We launched Philippines after that. Yesterday on stage, we announced Australia was coming online, and there's a list of countries that are on the roadmap, Thailand being one for 2020. Miltenburg says Ripple is taking its time and exercising a lot of caution when launching ODL and new market due to concerns about regulatory clarity. Depending on the jurisdiction around the world, regulators have different views on how to use digital assets. For example, in the extreme, you look at China or India, and they're not friendly toward digital assets. Other markets have more progressive stances. And so we've been cautious to launch in markets where we can ensure that our customers are comfortable, that there is regulatory clarity, and that they don't need to worry about anything. Ripple launched ODL back in October 2018 under the name of XRapid. So apparently there are plans in either the coming month, as there's only 1 month left, or sometime in 2020, to start launching XRP-based payments within Australia and in Thailand. And we also already have the Philippines and Mexico. And I think there's some type of a remittance thing. I can remember the other one that's also using XRP. But it's interesting to see where the expansion is happening. I'm also kind of happy that the expansion is happening in countries that have previously not been as welcomed with open arms in the traditional financial world, air quotes. I guess maybe, I want to say that a lot of the reasons why I think that cryptocurrencies are starting to, here we go, also right here. Thailand was also okay, cool. Kind of making sense. What I think is kind of leading up to is that other countries are realizing the benefits of cryptocurrencies And I think the larger countries monetarily are trying to do what they can to kind of stay away from them because they think that they don't have an actual purpose within their country, i.e., my opinion, it's usually just been Europe and the US who've been very strict when it's come to it, not even mentioning Russia and or China. But as far as the other two, very strict as to what can launch, what's going to launch, integration, etc., while other countries seem to be a bit more comfortable in the idea that this could be a major industry and that it could be potentially going somewhere in the future. Let's move on. Next up, Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin says he believes the leading blockchain smart contract platform will be able to process 3,000 transactions per second after a series of improvements are implemented. In a new tweet, Buterin outlined some of the upgrades coming to Ethereum. Not going to read all that stuff right there. Ethereum's Istanbul upgrade is currently set for launch in December. In addition, Buterin is updating a list of what he says are the hardest problems facing the cryptocurrency space. The list was first published in 2014. Now, 5 years later, he's revisiting his entries, which cover diverse topics relating to mathematics, computer science, and economics, and yada, 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 yada. Not that important, not that important, not that important. Anyway, the point being, years ago, it's been around 2 years at this point. Here's the actual information that was posted by Vitalik. It's on vitalik.ca. Not going to go through the entire thing, as you can kind of all see over here. Oh, little sad faces. When we had first news that Ethereum was going to upgrade, it was that Ethereum would be able to do, I believe, 100,000 transactions per second after the next upgrade. And then the news that we had was that Ethereum would be able to do 1 million transactions per second. And then we had news that Plasma would allow Ethereum to do, I believe it was a 10x of what the other upgrades would do, and this equaled out to 100 million transactions per second. So what we're getting now is that after the next rollout of upgrades on Ethereum, we should have around 3,000 transactions per second post-Istanbul. I'm going to assume this will probably not take place immediately on December during the first upgrade, because I would assume that Ethereum's price would have skyrocketed if people had news that Ethereum was going to be able to do 3,000 transactions per second in about 14 days. I will probably say, and I'm trying to be generous, I'd say by the end of next year, hopefully we should be somewhere near there, if not long-term future, the year 2024. We'll see, but it's nice to keep getting upgrades about this, because as far as it seems that everything is on track for this to happen, it's more a matter of it actually finally taking place. Next up, Tether is in the news. The turnover and volumes of Tether boomed in the past days while the market was crashing. Tether volumes are now above $31 billion as sell-offs boosted the demand for stablecoins. Tether is now the world's fourth largest coin by market cap, lining up as the top as other assets slid. As one point during the peak of selling, Tether rose to around $1.02, while other stablecoins are breaking above the dollar peg. Tether climbed to the top due to supply expansion in 2019, where the coin is circulating doubled from around 2 billion at the start of the year. Over November, the Tether supply has been flat for weeks, about 4.1 billion coins. This places Tether easily among the top 5 of coins, after altcoins rapidly lost their previously high valuations. We're seeing a major uptick in the usage of Tether. If you remember, I mentioned last year that we had a number of stablecoins that were launching as like institutional use coins. You can use us if you want to because we're regulated, we're so-and-so, we made our coin, we work with this company. I think one of them was Pax, one of them was the Gemini dollar, and the other one that Coinbase also like had support for. What we're seeing is that Tether is still getting a huge chunk of the market as far as for stablecoins, and I think a lot of people are not very happy that this is still happening, because right here, you can see over here, it says crypto exchange Bitfinex and its sister firm stablecoin issuer Tether have yet again been accused of working to manipulate the Bitcoin markets. A new class action lawsuit filed by Eric Young and Adam Courts at the District Court in the Western District of Washington on the 22nd of November draws heavily from details that emerge in the class brought by the New York Attorney General in April against the same two firms. It's also the second class action lawsuit that have been brought in recent months relying on the New York case, which is still ongoing as the defendants appeal over whether they must continue to produce documentation. The Attorney General claims, among other things, that the Tether stablecoin was not fully backed by US dollars. I think at this point, not that it doesn't matter if it's backed by US dollars, people are still going to use it. We had a good situation over the course of 2 years where we went over tons of news that made it seem like allegedly the people from Tether and Bitfinex did not have enough US dollar reserves to be able to back up all their Tether. And what we're seeing now is a bit of a, how do I say this? Whenever something gets too popular and people don't like it, they do things like this against it. And this seems to be what's happening against the people from Tether. A lot of other coin issuers, I assume from last year when they were announcing, remember 2018 was a huge stablecoin year, announcing that they were all going to be launching their own little stablecoins. And I think by the end of last year, we had at least 121, if not 125, 26 different stablecoins. I think that they thought that they could give out news that we had last year about Tether doing this and Tether doing that, and therefore their coins would become more popular. And none of them, at least to my knowledge at the moment, have even broken through the top 10 of coins, even as regulated as they actually are. So this will be an ongoing saga for a very, very long time. I don't see it ending anytime soon. What's happening is that as Tether continues to have more Tether enter the market and the market goes down or has its little moments where the prices are slipping, Tether continues to rise. I think at one point Tether was the 8th coin and the 7th coin, and now it's the 4th coin. And I think a lot of people are growing wary. I don't think that's the exact term, but I think larger industry players are trying to find a way to push Tether to the side so that other stable coins could be used a bit more. It's logical. Just kind of makes a bit more sense. Next up, the Ethereum Foundation is advising the network's node operators to update as soon as possible by downloading the latest version of their Ethereum client ahead of the blockchain's much anticipated Istanbul upgrade. They said the Ethereum network will be undergoing a scheduled upgrade at block number 9 million, which is predicted to occur on Saturday. That's this. Nope. Next one. I was like, we're so close. Saturday, the 7th of December, not this one, 2 weeks away. The exact date is subject to change due to variable block times and time zones. Please upgrade your node before September or Sunday. I'm sorry. I'm not all here today. It's been a very long last couple of days. I've been overdoing it too much with everything. So here we are. Before Sunday, the 1st of December, 2019, to account for the variable block times. So it looks like we're still on track. And I know this is about the 5th time I've mentioned this over the course of the last 2 weeks, but this is very significant. We've heard about this upgrade since 2016. It's been a long time coming. 3 years is a long time to wait. So the fact that they keep giving information, the same exact thing with Vitalik's tweet, that this is going to happen on this date. It may not happen exactly at a specific time, depending on when this block finally arrives. We're finally getting the upgrade, and I'm hoping for no more delays. Finally going to happen. So I assume most people know to upgrade their software, especially if you're running a node. But yeah, very excited. And let's move on. And to kind of finish things off, after hitting its lowest level since May, Bitcoin is looking for its next leg as traders and investors are looking for signs of a protracted pullback or a quick pivot to the upside. CNBC contributor Brian Kelly, the chief executive officer of digital currency investment firm BKCM, broke down where he sees Bitcoin going from here. He says he thinks it's going to go up. He says, I think the good odds are that this week, and this sell-off here was an important low. I think there's a couple different things going on. He said China is cracking down. There was some speculation that China might unban some of the cryptocurrency trading, but if you look at the fundamentals underlying Bitcoin at this point in time, I look at a lot of addresses and address growth. What we're seeing over the past 30 days is we're seeing a growth in addresses of about 5%, but the market is pricing in a decline in addresses of 3%, meaning the market is growing, people are getting into the cryptocurrency space, and the number of addresses and people getting into Bitcoin has grown. However, illogically, I hope that's a word, the market is pricing it in as if the number of addresses are declining. He said, so it's mispriced here. Fundamentals are improving on a sell-off, so I think that's why the odds are stacked that this is probably a low. If you look at any currency, it works just like a social network. It's the network effect. You want to have new users, so when I look at addresses, you think about those as a monthly average users that we look at for Facebook and Twitter, or that type of thing. If you see those increasing, these are positive fundamentals, and that's what's happening in this case. Once again, it doesn't make any sense that prices were dropping or have dropped. I just read something really interesting as well. There was someone who wrote they were trying to look for a reasoning behind as to why the cryptocurrency market was going down, and he said it was for him, it was either people were trying to push the market down to be able to buy more, which also makes a lot of sense because we saw that jump after prices went down. He said it could also be that a number of heavy-handed investors have been trying to push the price of Bitcoin down as low as possible so that they can only, or rather, so that they have less to declare during tax time. If you can say, well, I didn't really make that much while you took profit, and you can even record a loss from where you bought in before, you do pretty well on your taxes. And that's that's something that didn't even cross my mind, I guess, because I don't trade in the millions, if not tens of millions of dollars when it comes to cryptocurrency trading. But it does sound like that would be the kind of thing that people around the world would definitely do to manipulate a market to be able to push it down lower so that they'd be able to profit. It's all lining up. Anyway, the fundamentals for the entire cryptocurrency space, especially Bitcoin, if you want to just focus on that one, they're doing incredibly great. More people are searching for it. More people are getting into the cryptocurrency space. More people are buying Bitcoin. The over-the-counter buying has hit new all-time highs. Even if you want to look at Bakkt is also recording record volume almost every single day. The number of miners switching on their machines to actually mine Bitcoin also at an all-time high. Bitcoin's hash rate is also at an all-time high. Any reasoning that people can find for Bitcoin going lower are generally nonsense, and this is also why after we just hit that little dump down, Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market shot back up because it was not organic. At least this is how I see this. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mil Weezy, Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas from Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Krypton Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Manja, Lavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller hits chest every day and Kyle skips leg day. Yes, to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Sammy Boo, Ucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla, Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Shoop Shoop Diddy Wop, Hummer Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Yeah, I'm a little out of it today. I've been doing far too much across the channels, across life. I'm just a little out of it. It could also be like a seasonal thing. I mean, it's relatively gray and wintry and coldish outside. I don't mind the cold. I think, I don't know, it could be an accumulation of things. Not that any of you really care probably about my life. Anyway, at the moment, the market is back up from where it was just yesterday. After people were trying to push the price of the cryptocurrency market down, you can see this little jump up right here. Bitcoin is currently up around 6.36%. We hit $6,000, I believe it was $515 yesterday. And almost immediately afterwards, Bitcoin jumped up by $600 to $700. Almost immediately. It was completely not random. It's clear what's happening. However, the market looks pretty okay. Some things are down, like Leo token. You never really hear about Leo token in the first place. A lot of coins are in green. Some of the stable coins are down as they're being sold off as people are buying the coins. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out. Today is Tuesday. Let's see how the rest of the week ends up playing out. I am trying not to hold my breath for any movement up. Bitcoin is incredibly undervalued at this point. It's so obvious that the to me that the market itself should be a lot higher, and that it's simply some type of unknown manipulation that's going on behind the scenes, whether it be people trying to save on their taxes or people trying to push the price down to buy on other over-the-counter markets. Something is afoot, because there are far too many people within the cryptocurrency space, especially all the, and I dare say anywhere from hundreds of thousands to 1 million plus people who've gotten into the cryptocurrency space since the end of 2017, who have been buying up in mass. All of my friends who I know who are into crypto have definitely been buying. No one has been selling, except for, it seems like, whales who are trying to move the market, as it were. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.